All right, let's make sure the audio is, yeah, it's good. Everything's good. Okay. Let me pull it up. It's a pretty good thumbnail. Good. Okay. Let me pull it up. It's a pretty good thumbnail. All right, we're gonna wait probably till 7:35 to actually get started here. Let people kind of flow in and stuff. Whoever's in here, if you could tell me how loud my heater is in the background. Okay, let me try testing that. I'll keep it on because it is my office area is in a sunroom, and it gets very cold in here because we don't have heat, and it is almost it is mid-November, so it's definitely not optimal for the this kind of experience. So I'll probably wait 2 more minutes. Maybe a little longer than that. And then what I plan to do, because originally I was going to just upload a video, not do it like a live stream. You know, I kind of wanted to, but it's not really the best way to go about it. Just because I want it to be an actual video. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just probably unlist this live stream once it's like done. And then go back and do the like actually record it separately and make it an actual video kind of thing, because it's fun to interact with you guys, but it's like it's not much of an actual video. Becca, Main, and Lucy S tier. Yeah, I'm gonna have some relatively hot takes here, especially with Rebecca. Probably Mom as well. I was looking over this last night when I was gonna record it, and I was kind of like visualizing in my head where I was gonna put the characters. I didn't think too hard about it. I mostly had to do it for the thumbnail. But we're gonna have some relatively spicy takes here, relatively, for some fan favorite characters. I will leave it at that. How many viewers we get in here? Okay, so 3. So let's say we're gonna start at 7:37. I think it'd be a good time to do it, just so we kind of allow people time to come in. But yeah, I was doing this last night. I just lost all, like, I literally sat down to do it, and I just lost all motivation to do it. This needs to be a live stream. Because if it's a live show, I'll feel more compelled to actually do it and stuff. And like it would just be more fun, So I think it's definitely the way to go about it. Let's see if the audio's still good. This needs to be a live stream. Because if it's a live show, I'll feel more compelled to actually. Okay. Keep a watch on that. I'm gonna put them all in D tier. I'm just kidding. That's the spicy take. They're all going in D tier. Arasaka Corvo students, A tier, enough spice. Now, do you actually mean that? That's the big question. Because that would be a lot of spice. And what I'm thinking is, I'm probably gonna rank the characters based on, more so if they're interesting. I mean, people I personally like will be ranked higher as well, but like some characters I don't like, but I'd rank them high just because I find them interesting. And there's gonna be a few of those that are surprisingly high. I did that with my Amori tier list as well, where it was like, I just have to find your arc interesting or see what it like brings to the story, kind of thing. And if you can do that, then like, okay, you got a pretty high spot on my radar, kind of thing. All right. So it's 7:37. Let's give it like 30 more seconds, and then we're gonna get into it. Also, I'm not gonna go in order. It's gonna be like kind of spread out because I don't want to do all the main characters first. That's kind of boring, honestly, because it's like, okay, we did all this, now let's get to the other characters. All right, let me start recording. Okay. Beautiful. All right. Hello and welcome to the Cyberpunk Edgerunners tier list, where I will be analyzing every single character in the show, or at least all the main characters and a lot of the side characters as well. It's really not that many characters in the show now that you kind of look at it. Like, I was looking at other like tier list makers, I was like, even that they had even less. Kiwi goated. We're gonna see if Kiwi's goated. All right. So let's get into this. Like I said, we're not gonna start with any of the main characters yet. Let's start with. Oh, I have to do one other thing, because there's some people I just don't know who they are. And if anyone in the chat can like help me out there, because I'm just not gonna know. Like, it's the this guy, he's got to be Arasaka, right? I just don't remember him from the show at all, like literally at all. So if anyone can kind of give me a pointer there, because I just don't know who that is. Let's start with Falco. If I get his name wrong, I apologize. So he's cool. He's definitely not like up here. He's either B or C, I think. And honestly, like, he's cool. Some of the characters I'm gonna end up putting in B are like definitely better than Falco. So I'm gonna leave him in C for now. I mean, he's cool, but what does he really do? Like, what interesting perspective does he really give to the narrative? I don't really know. You know, it's more just, he's just kind of there, kind of thing. So I'm gonna leave him in C for now. I might move it around later. Let's go Gloria. She's got to be an A tier for me. I mean, first of all, she's like a very, very good mom. And you have to respect that. You literally just have to respect that. But even more so than that, what she brings to the narrative is interesting. And I think it's crucial for David's early development, like that environment that he came from, the choices that he makes, all of that stuff. Falco had the best animation when being hit by the blast in the desert. Has a cool demeanor and stash and is loyal, but see, yeah. Yeah, Falco's just, he's all right. But with Gloria, it's she's so essential to David's development, and spoilers for this entire video / live stream, obviously. But like, her death just kickstarts everything. I mean, that's what makes David have, I mean, he already had that. this lack of worth for himself and even those around him, honestly, in terms of like society's perspective, or at least what he thought society viewed them as. But when Gloria dies, it's like, okay, she just got passed up because of this insurance. Like that's just that moment just hits so hard for this narrative. It's like it's one of the best parts of the show, honestly. I mean, it's definitely top 5 scenes in the show, and it's just so vital. So I'm definitely gonna put her in A tier. Like I said, great mom, very very important to the narrative, interesting to the narrative, and just everything she has to do to get her son at like a respectable school, just very admirable and very interesting. So we're gonna put her in A tier. Uh, Adam Smasher is a D tier. Now, obviously, everyone here hates him. I mean, come on, we all dislike Adam Smasher, but even more than that, he's kind of just like a. I mean, would you call him the antagonist of the story? I don't really know. Like you could. No, he's definitely not. He's not the antagonist. He's just kind of there, and he kind of is like the last villain in the end, I guess. But what he represents in the story is, I guess, what like David could be if he lacked empathy. I know cyberpsychosis is kind of like iffy and where it like actually comes from and stuff, but with Adam Smasher, it's just like just a boogeyman being used by Arasaka. Yeah, I guess you could say Arasaka is the real antagonist in the story, because they kind of, well, it's not even just Arasaka. I guess it's the society they live in, and Adam Smasher is a product. I'll put him in S tier. I mean, not S tier. Oh my god, I'll put him in C tier because I guess it's kind of interesting. I kind of talk myself into C tier. The antagonist is David. Protagonist is David. I mean, listen. Yeah, I kind of get. Oh, get back down there. I get what you're saying there. Actually, it's actually not entirely inaccurate. All right, let's go. Yeah, let's go Dorio. Dorio's cool. I mean, she's about the same as Falco. What is well? I mean, she does a little more than Falco. She actually fights and stuff, and she has those like badass moments more than Falco does. I don't really. Let's move her to B tier for now. We might move her back down, but let's have her in B tier. Yeah, there's really not a lot of characters. This guy, I don't even know his name. I mean, I'll put him in C tier. Like he kind of represents David's new like transformation into basically the new main, which that itself is interesting, but it's like he doesn't really do much else, and he just dies in like 2 seconds. So we'll put we'll put him in C tier. Yeah, let's go with Doc. Now I don't know where everyone else would put him. Honestly, I'm putting him in A tier. And I talked about this in my video, but his one line about like, go do whatever you do, become a legend or whatever you punks do, that line just encapsulates basically the entire series, right? And it's like you have the cyberpunks, and they technically they make their own choices, and the choices that they always make is becoming that legend. It's usually the choice that they make, and that's obviously bad. They shouldn't make that choice, but at the same time, it's like you are a cyberpunk, and to be a cyberpunk, to have the history that you have and the environment you were raised in that would make you become a cyberpunk, kind of makes you want to become that legend. Like you want that power, which fame, money, all of that stuff, it really just comes down to power. Which comes down to control, I guess, controlling one's own life. And the Cyberpunks all lack that. And then Doc kind of like encapsulates the decision that they're eventually gonna make is just become those legends, because it's like almost didn't have a choice at all. And just the way he says it is just it's iconic. It's honestly iconic. How he just, like, he said it a million times before. And that's another, like, probably top 10. That's a top 5 line in the show, honestly. It just hits so hard. It hits so hard. Honestly, D is stupid innocent. And is able to reach Maine and most of his cyberpsychosis, Big Mama Bear energy. But also Big Mama Bear energy, I like that. That's why she's in B. She's Big Mama Bear energy. I wouldn't say Doria. I mean, she tried to stop him, but it's like, how much can you really do? If Maine isn't going to try to help himself, which, again, we talked about, like, how your choices are affected, how you're brought up and stuff like that. But, you know, I guess she kind of tried to stop him, but kind of tried to did it at the same time. All right, who we're doing next? Oh, we'll do this guy. I mean, he's kind of funny. That's literally all I got. This guy, that's the guy in the simulation in the beginning, I'm pretty sure. That had the, what was it? The Saint Devastan. He's there. I mean, I know who he is. I'm not gonna put him here, but, like, you know, he's doing his thing. Dorio should have gotten his fist and ran. I'm just imagining her just, like, taking it off and just start sprinting away. That is a very funny image. All right. Tanaka. Now, before anyone says anything, obviously he's not a likable character. But I think what he brings up to David about David having a choice is super interesting. I mean, firstly, even the choice that, like, Tanaka wanted him to make, the reason he brought up what David actually wants to do was not much of a choice. He would have, you know, it's the cyber skeleton. He was going cyber psycho anyway, just from that, so it wasn't really much of a choice. But he's the first person, and honestly the only person, who truly asks David what he wants in life. And that moment is really, like, makes him pause. And honestly, like, that's just one of David's best moments in the show. Because even after that, he never really thinks about it. His dream, if you can call it that, has always been Lucy's dream since, probably, honestly, since, you know, Lucy told David about the dream. But, like, past that, for his, like, own sake, he never thought past it. Even after being questioned that. Just because he has no value for his own life. So it's just super interesting that Tanaka brings that up. And he's the only character to do it. So that alone, with that much narrative relevance, or, like, I guess he's just interesting. The things he brings up as a character are interesting. And I think when it comes to television, movies, video games, books, anime, whatever, all of it comes down to character dynamics. And his dynamic with David is just kind of brilliant, low-key. So, like, we're going to leave him in B, honestly. He's just a good character. This guy... I mean... No, he really sticks to what... I guess he sticks to what he believes in. Well, no, I don't know. He's passionate about what he does, and he just keeps it that way. So, like, that's fine. Like, he's fine here, I think. All right, let's do, like, a main character. Let's go... Speaking of main, let's go main. What do I want to put main? Okay, no, that's not even a question. Is main S tier? That's the real question. Like, he's definitely at least A tier, but is he S tier? Because Main's narrative is just... It's just beautifully tragic. I mean, it's he is what David eventually becomes. And the way he slips kind of into that father role with David is just super interesting. I mean, do we think David would have become the person he did after the time skip without Maine? Like, you don't really hear about David's father at all. And it's like, not, I mean, that's not even brought up once in the show, I'm pretty sure. But it's like, you can assume that he hasn't had a father for at least most of his life, maybe even all of it, whether they left, died, whatever. And Maine obviously becomes that father figure to him. So it's like, that's his idol. Maine becomes his idol, you know? Maine becomes what David wants to be, especially in a society that, like, I don't want to say it, like, super values masculinity, but what, because it doesn't, the show doesn't really show that necessarily. But when it comes to societies like that, like those like hypersexualized, hyper-violent societies, masculinity usually is a very big part of that. And Maine embodies like a man. Like he's a man. To David, he is a man kind of thing. And what Maine's character does is show crotch within that, for one, obviously when he's like, you know, going cyber psycho. But two, it just gives David that role model of what masculinity should be. And I think he gets David down that path even more so. Because, I mean, he already doesn't value his own life, like we've discussed. So, you know, it's more of like, I don't know, he just becomes that role model. And he's definitely super interesting because of that. And he's super interesting as a character, even aside from just, like, David. Like, the line I talked about in my video, it was like, you never get anywhere dreaming small. Like, that running in the desert is just insane. And I realized after making the video that it was like, he was kind of running on this, like, dirty sand, which it was obviously a road. And then I'm like, is this a cliff at the end? Or I'm like, it's just, like, new, pure sand, and that was, like, very visually relevant. But even more than that, I think it was literally the end of the road. And it was, like, a new territory. And, like, David, when Maine dies, even, like, flash and stuff like that, you see David on the other side of that road. Like, he makes it past. And Maine, like, I think you, unless I'm forgetting, you see Maine at, like, at the end, literally the end of the road. I mean, it can't get more on the nose than that. But David gets past that. And it's just super interesting. You know, does he go in S tier? What are we thinking? Someone say something in the chat about if he should go in A or S tier. Because I'm actually, like, very debating on that now. Before I move him around, though, Tanaka Jr. is an S tier. Not S tier. Oh, my God. C tier. If Arasaka guy is B because of how he enables David, Maine has to be S. Yeah, okay. You've convinced me. It did not take much. He's just... It's Maine. It's Maine. He is David before David became what he became. So, it's just super interesting. Yeah, Tanaka Jr., he jumpstarts David's journey a little bit, too. Which a lot of characters... I think a big part of the show is a lot of characters directly jumpstart David's journey and eventually his destination. Like, if you look at Lucy, Tanaka Jr., Maine, Gloria, the Doctor, even this guy, like, they're all part of his journey. It's all very interconnected, which I think is a very interesting part of the show. And I think it goes back to that, like, character dynamics kind of thing. So I'll put Tanaka Jr., which I don't even know his first name. I'll put him in C tier. He's a piece of shit, but he's a relatively interesting piece of shit in terms of David's narrative. Now, we're getting down to, like, the main character, except for Maine we've already done, but, I'm like, what's his name? Faraday. I mean, he's pretty much the antagonist. We're gonna put Faraday in A tier, and what Faraday represents is that the actual like upper echelon, they do not care. They just don't care. They literally, it's a hierarchy, honestly. Like, they view Faraday as a dog, just as Faraday views everyone else. That's a super interesting concept. And it's like, why does he want to be up there? Why does he want to be at the top? Like, why? He's so power hungry. And then you juxtapose him with the other Arasaka executives and things like that, and they just, like I said, they do not care. Like, they don't even necessarily care that they're at the top, because they know they're always going to be there. That Faraday's not going to, like, somehow surpass them. And it really shows that, like, you can basically do anything you want, use as many people, get as much power as you think you have, and you're still not going to get there. And it's the fact that you're not there, that you don't already have that power, that makes you way more power hungry than other people. And that's just super interesting. And he literally, all the bad stuff, like, he plays a part in, like, most of it. Yeah, honestly, Faraday is insignificant in his Arasaka system as antagonist. Yeah, like, I would definitely say overall it is the system. Like, Faraday's, like, kind of represents part of the system. You have Arasaka and you have Faraday, and they're like two parts of that system. So he's like an antagonist kind of thing. But like, his journey really does reflect David's a good amount. Kind of like Adam Smasher's does. Adam Smasher less so. But it's just that desperate scramble to literally the top of Arasaka. Like, that's what they're both after, David and Faraday. And they go about it different ways. David actually cares about people. That's the big difference there. But, like, that goal is still relatively the same. Do I put him in S tier? I might move him up to S tier. But yeah, Faraday, just super, super interesting. Highly underrated character, I think. Now, hot take of the video. She's a B tier. Rebecca's fun. And she holds it down for David. She is probably David's only, like probably his only friend, honestly. Nah. She really is David's only friend. And that kind of shows there's an idea in Cyberpunk Edgerunners that, like, you just don't trust people. Yeah, what the fuck? I know. But there's an idea that you, like, don't trust other people. Like, they'll, like, always betray you kind of thing. And she kind of subverts that. No, never mind. Okay, I'll put him in A tier. Because she subverts that. And I think a big part of Edgerunners is caring about other people, loving other people. And, kind of, like, trusting in them. And not living so self-centered that you can't do that. And I think David embodies that, but even more so, he wouldn't be able to without Rebecca. And she kind of even embodies that more. So we're going to put her in A tier. I originally was going to have hot take and just put her in B tier, but now I'm thinking about it. I've convinced myself to put her in, to throw her in A tier. I don't think Faraday is underdeveloped. Well, he is underdeveloped for a reason. It doesn't matter. It is about business. Yeah, it's about the business. Okay, yeah. So we're going to put Rebecca in A tier. Don't worry. Disaster averted. If I'd make that list, Becca S, rest B max. And the loyalty she shows even when she can't be close to David's on another level of love. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So we're going to put her in A tier. I'm not going to move her up to S tier. But A tier is definitely where I think she belongs. I've definitely convinced myself of that just by talking about it. So let's do let's do Kiwi first. Kiwi S. Is Kiwi S tier? Kiwi's a B. I'll put Kiwi in B tier. And she's like the other side of the coin with Rebecca, to where it's like, don't trust anybody. More so because you don't want to, like, I guess, be betrayed or things like that. And, like, aside from that, like, perspective the show brings, it's like, okay, like, I get it. And it's a pretty simple concept, but, like, aside from that, I don't think she's that interesting. She also betrays the group and, like, kind of gets him killed. Kind of. So it's like, let's leave her in B tier. Everyone is just hating. Okay, so everyone's just hating Kiwi. Not hate, but yeah, let's go B tier. S tier design. Actually, thank you for bringing that up. Cyberpunk Edgerunners is a lot like the 80s OVAs, 80s, 90s kind of OVAs in terms of style. In terms of what they could show, like blood, sex, other things like that. It's very, very similar to that. In terms of budget, honestly. And, like, Kiwi's design, it's like her color palette is just so early 90s. It's so OVA-like, and it's just so awesome. Like, she probably has the best design in the show, aside from, like, maybe pre-time skip David. I hate post-time skip David's design. It's so ugly. Which is fine. I don't care that much. But, like, Kiwi's just S tier design. So let's, yeah, definitely B tier for her. Then we have these two. I don't know. I don't know where to put Lucy. I mean, first of all, I think a big part of the show is that David and Lucy don't really communicate. Which is interesting. They're probably both going to be S tier, honestly. But it's like, they don't communicate. If Lucy had been clear about her dream, which I'm probably sure she realized that, like, going to the moon wasn't just her, like, she just wanted to. No, never mind. She kind of says that, though. She kind of says that. We're going to put her in S tier. I mean, her design is also, like, absolutely S tier. And it's just, like, I mean, I discuss it a lot in my videos, so I won't say too much of it here, but, like, she represents that eternal oppression kind of thing. I mean, all the characters do. But Lucy, especially with her visions, I disagree. You should not disagree. You should agree. You've also never seen the show, so you just have to agree with me. Honestly, after time skip, probably B tier. Why do you think that? That's kind of a hot take. I'm very curious as to why you think that. I mean, they're just... No, I have to. I mean, let's be clear. David's going in S tier. He just is. And, like, are we really going to separate David and Lucy? Are we about to do that? I just don't think we are. So let's do Lucy S tier. Because, like I said, that self-eternalized oppression caused by external oppression, obviously, is just so relevant with her character. And she does things based on that. And she has this very strong desire to protect, especially David, obviously. And she goes to very, very far lengths to protect David from a life that she had already lived, like being a lab rat. Like, she knew it all. you know, the cyber skeleton, all of that stuff. And she had lived that, and she wants more than anything to prevent David from having to do that. And I think that is a special. I think it's a special emotion in Edgerunners. And I think, I mean, it's Lucy. I mean, we're not going to separate them. So we'll leave her in S tier. That's what main here. And then David is the best character in the show. He means David post time skip. So you think David post time skip is a B tier? See, that is even more interesting. Because come on, he's David. I mean, this design sucks post time skip, but like, I mean, this is more than anything David's story, and the ways in which he shows what a society can do to you. We live in a society, literally. The ways that he shows that is just it's phenomenal. It's like arcane levels of writing, and I do not say that lightly. He's the perfect protagonist for this show. You know, everything he goes through, everything he does for others, the ways in which he puts others in front of him every single time. I don't think he ever once cares about his own life. He only ever cares about others because he just doesn't have any value for his own life. And that concept is so interesting and so perfectly portrays the way society has failed him. Because no one should feel like that. You know, everyone has value. No one should feel like they just don't have it. You know. And if a society is running correctly, it should not value a profit over a person. And ours does do that. Obviously Edgerunners does that as well, but like our current society, around the world societies, they basically value that profit over that person. And if a society, what a society is a group of people, and we build societies to better our own lives, right? But then we did that to such an escalation that it's like we kind of got away from that, and now we're chasing that profit. It's all about the production, because production did benefit our lives, but now it's like overproduction to where it's like it's taking a very negative impact, especially in the worlds of like Edgerunners and stuff like that cyberpunk worlds of cyberpunk's aesthetics. Let me drink of water real quick. So it's become like society is just not meant for us to be happy. It's not built in order to enable us to better become happy. And in David's case, society itself has been built around some people have worth and the people below them just inherently don't in the eyes of society. Obviously, morally they do. And the ways in which David represents that in like with Gloria and like the things that he goes to with Doc and all the other characters, you know, the ways that he like almost becomes a test rat and things like that, just for the benefit of a society where the only benefit obviously is going to the top. It's just super interesting. And just so many other things about David that are just fantastic. I mean, the way he deals with Maine being killed, like those shots, that one shot of him in the car is the second best scene in the show. The best is the ending, by the way. It's phenomenal. He's the best character in the show. And it's kind of not even close. I would be tempted to make an SS tier just for David, or like a David tier, but I just can't separate these two. So that's the ranking. Let me see some of these questions here. Macro 3 questions regarding general themes of Cyberpunk. What is society doing and where are we going? Yes. Why are we doing all of this? And is this what progress looks like? Yeah, I think that's like the big question for me personally is like, why? Like, why are we pumping out a profit? Why are we working towards that as a society? And it's because we don't really have a say. I mean, I said this before, when it comes to like climate change and things like that, you have a very small amount of people, a very small group of people deciding everything for you. Like what benefits you apparently, or like how the world should be run, or like things like that. They're deciding that for you. And it just that'd be obvious, that seems a bit unfair. You know, you have like when it comes to again like climate change, they're accelerating that. And it's like when you can protest or do things like that, but it's like you don't have the choice there. And Cyberpunk Edgerunners is a show without choice. That's like the big thing. So I think that's like, you question why is it like that? It just doesn't benefit the vast majority of people. Also, David dies and Lucy loses all worth living for as she goes to the moon and to escape, but instead of breaths, really moment of happiness. Yeah, so like I've said in my video, I've seen people discuss if it's a happy ending or not. There's just, I don't think it's the most dreadful, abysmal ending to a show I've maybe ever seen. Like, come on. Lucy is not happy. She can't be happy like that. You know? It's like I said in the video, like, this wasn't her dream. And it's like, dreams are a little weird because they're very abstract. But, like, going to the moon on that tourist trip is just... She wants to escape the system. It's not really the city itself is, like, part of the system. And, like, a lot of people commented that, like, the city itself, like, is a character. And I definitely can see it like that. But the bigger thing is the system. Not exactly what, to answer your question, what you would call that system, I don't really know. Probably, like... hyper-capitalism, something like that. I don't know. But she wants to escape that system. And that tourist trip is just so... I mean, like I said, there's literally advertisements on the bus. That is not an accident. You do not put that there as an accident. You just don't. I'm sorry. It cannot be a happy ending. There's no way it's a happy ending. It is a depressing ending. And yeah, David, he doesn't get that. Like, which I think there should be a little more nuance to where, like, he kind of gets that, but, like, he does not get that. And it's even worse because, like, I mean, they had money enough to go to the moon before that one job anyway. Well, maybe he does get that, though. Because, on some level, because I think he did that last job for the moon, yes. But also so you could leave Night City and, like, live on that kind of money. Because, like, I think they do say that, like, they can afford the trip anyway without having to do that. But it's like he wanted her to escape from Night City, that kind of thing. And we don't know much about the world of Cyberpunk, like, 2077 outside of Night City. At least I don't. I never played the game. But I would assume it's, like, it's not just Night City. Like, maybe it's a little worse there, but, like, it's not just there. And when it comes to, like I discussed in the video, eternalized self-oppression, it's just not that easy, you know? Like, you can leave Night City and live in, like, the best city in the world, and it's still, like, if you don't have worth, like David didn't, for your life, you're just not gonna, you know, your life's really not gonna improve. Or if you feel like you're lesser, you know, it's a very tragic thing, but, like, and obviously you can even know logically you're not lesser, but, like, on an emotional level, on a subconscious level, you could still feel like that. And that's one of the trickiest parts with oppression. And the system obviously, you know, oppresses people. So even if he left the city, it's like, I said this very cliche line in the video, and I'm going to say it again. You can leave Night City, but Night City won't leave you. And like I said, very cliche, but I think it has meaning to it. Because Night City kind of becomes a part of you when you're oppressed by the system within it. So even if she finds some, like, better system, I don't think she's going to find her worth necessarily. Which, I like David, I don't think she has a lot of, most of the stuff she does is for David, kind of thing. Especially when they meet and stuff. So it's like, I don't know. It's just hard. So I think David kind of gets it, to where like he doesn't just want her to get her to the moon, but he wants her to leave Night City and like have enough money to live on. Like he's the one person that he wants to escape, but like, I don't know. It's just hard. In a way, though, it's not hyper capitalism. It is also applicable to communism, capitalism, etc. So like, I've had a lot of comments about. I mean, they boiled down my video to like screw capitalism. Like that's what I was saying was screw capitalism, and they weren't really about that. And it's not just capitalism. There is elements of communism as well. I mean, it's honestly when it comes to the economic systems that we have in place, not in theory, but more in practice. Because in theory, they're all pretty great. I mean, in theory, I'm very pro capitalism, but at the same time, it's like in practice, it doesn't usually work out. I think their system is more. It's like a combination of both, but like I said, in practice, I don't think any system usually works. And I actually had a video, my second video ever, was discussing communism and how it didn't work. Terrible video. Horrible video. It's not good. But I did make it. And I was going to make it like a whole series and stuff. I just never kind of did. The system is a sovereign state. Yeah, it's weird. Like, I know that the system's bad, and it's, like, applicable to our real-world system, at least where I live, but it's, like, it's hard to pin down an exact system. So, it is a system that rewards power, though, for sure. All right. So, do we have any final questions, opinions you want to hear from me about Cyberpunk Edgerunners? I probably have like one more video on the show coming out, maybe more in the future. But like this is like one of the last big things I'm going to do about it, so I'm not going to call it a Q&A or anything like that, but if you want to hear my opinion on something about the show, now is the time to ask. Because if not, I mean, I've ranked all the characters here. And then we'll probably wrap it up. But yeah, the systems, it's just hard to define. Which is here. Maybe just guy and D tier up. See, I gotta put someone in D tier. He made the show possible. I mean, technically every character makes a show possible, but I get what you're saying. But it's like... See, for me, it's not about narrative relevance too much. It's more about, like, thematic relevance, I think. I shouldn't have said narrative relevance throughout the show. Or throughout this video. Or live stream or whatever you want to call it. It's more, like, thematic relevance. And, like, obviously, like, a Gloria has thematic relevance as much as narrative relevance. And, like, they're both interesting. But the narrative relevance is only really interesting because of the thematic relevance that then brings up. So, that's kind of how I feel about it. Alright, I will take... Oh, shit. Can we get back in B tier? So, let's see... Before I wrap up, let's see if I want to keep them all here. Tanaka Jr., fuck you. I don't care. He's not that funny. Kiwi, Tanaka, Doria. I mean, I'll put her in like the bottom of B tier. She's almost a C tier, but she's the bottom of B tier. So I'm gonna arrange these as I like actually ranked and stuff. So let's do Do it like that. This is good. Yeah, that's good. They got to be next to each other, literally. All right, so then this is good. 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 Dorio B fits. Yeah. I'm gonna leave her in B. Don't want to rearrange. I mean, C tier. I just don't care about. I'll put any blast. Dorio the Explorer. All right, we're gonna put her in S tier. Then I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I think this is. I think this is good, honestly. So that's gonna wrap it up. Good tier list. Thank you. I appreciate it. I would hope I've made a relatively good tier list, and my opinions were relatively good at the very least. Because I am obviously a big fan of the show, and I like to think I have some decent opinions on it. So, all right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I want to do more live streams. I think they're very fun. And I'm definitely glad I did this video as a live stream. And if you want to, I mean, obviously everyone who is here probably doesn't want to, but I'm going to put it up as an actual video. Probably for tomorrow. Probably working that tonight. Oh, and there's an airplane. Nice. So, yep. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Or should I say, as always, thank you for watching. Is Adam Smasher in the list? Yes, he is. He's right here. Oh, there he is. Sure is. We wouldn't be here if we wouldn't want to hear you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Have a good, whatever time it is, have a good night, day, week, year, whatever it happens to be. And yeah, thank you for